I'd like to welcome you to the World Motherfucking Greatest Podcast in the motherfucking
all that.
World.
You know what I'm saying?
Alright, so we back as ever, back and back, better than ever, all that good shit. I got a hazy thought. I know Mook has been especially wanting to share his hazy thought, so I'm gonna let him go first.
No, go ahead, get yours off.
Alright, well, my hazy thought kind of involves some engagement that I need from the two of you afterwards. So you go first.
My hazy thought was like, Jones don't be as good at sucking dick as they be putting out there. Wow. And it's pretty fucking crazy. Oh my goodness. Like, it's mind-boggling to me. That's why I didn't release it. That's why I didn't unleash the John.
I'm glad you did it.
Yeah. That's why I was like, nah.
You weren't going to get this reaction if you would have said.
I was like, no. I was like, I'm not doing this in front of the two young ladies that we have here. I'm going to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Different man.
Oh, that's what you... Oh,
yeah. I was like, no, I'm getting
holding this. I'm glad you hosted that.
I'm like, bro, I've been waiting to get that motherfucker.
I'm glad you were grown so much that you knew better than to let that go with those women over here. Yeah, sure. That's not.
I respect that compliment. But yeah, that was my hazy thought. I was really just something happened and I was just like,
what happened?
Obviously something happened.
Why are you always doing stuff like that?
Just read in between the lines.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes let your imagination run wild.
Just read in between.
Sometimes you gotta let your imagination run with things. Like, you don't even gotta ask questions. Man.
Yeah, like obviously I had that thought for a reason. It was after the experience and I was just like, wow.
Now,
someone's going to watch this and be very upset.
Since we're here, right? Heard on different platforms, maybe some question of.
I don't know if she watches, but hey.
Get proposed, and people are like, yo, do you just tell them stop, or you just still gonna let it ride?
Hold on, I hate to be. Yeah, okay, answer this first.
Oh, so we're gonna expand on this.
We're here now.
All right, let's go.
Answer his first. I got to follow though.
How did I maneuver the situation?
Yeah, did you just accept the...
I'm not, no. Because at that point, I'm giving out game, and I'm not going to do that. But
respect.
I respectfully maneuver out of said situation.
You just got straight to it.
You're a nasty nigga. This is a sick Negro.
we saw that episode. Okay, you
This is a sick Negro. But yes, mission was completed.
But yes,
that's what I was gonna ask you. Did you finish your due diligence?
Yeah, I mean,
so if you finished,
we're here.
Then what's the issue here? If it wasn't good, I can understand being upset that it wasn't up to par, or what you were sold something.
Now we're diving too far in. It's like no.
You were sold a dream. I can respect being sold a dream because
was he sold a dream?
Obviously, he feels such way.
I wouldn't say I was sold a dream. Just don't have expectations.
And there we go, kids. Don't have expectations.
I wouldn't say I was sold a dream. I don't sell dreams. I'm going to also say that. And so it's just like, hey, brother, here we are. But that was my hazy thought.
The here we are was killing me. All right.
You got me.
I love a good you got me. Yeah, I know I love a good you got me. Fuck it.
This might be the wildest beginning to the episode we've had in a long time.
All right, so you want to know? Well, I think I might. I don't know if I'm gonna up it or, but my hazy thought was, and that's why I said I need some interaction from you guys. Is I was with the good people of the Speech Club maybe a few weeks back, and we were talking about morality, and a question came up: if you could kill any baby, like an evil person, like a person we know is evil. But like you could go back and they were a baby and kill them before they became evil.
So you're killing them in innocence.
Yes. Would you kill that baby now?
My first question.
Talk to me.
Before
I
don't know if I have an answer for you. Why are y'all talking about that in Speech Club?
I think recently we've been doing this sort of open forum, free kind of thing where we just kind of talk about anything. So the conversation led us here. So I was really.
Who brought up the question?
It was either me or Zoriel.
So this is your
damn sound like a Zoriel question.
I think it was either me or Zoriel. I want to say.
Y'all two together, that's some sick nigga shit.
But, so my question, so I've been really pondering this for like 2 weeks. Like, I had
so you had this on your mind as long as I had that on my mind.
Yeah, so I've really been
know
thinking about
what's
this.
work, though. Man.
So,
No, because you felt mine.
I'm about to say, like, for example, if they told you,
Yeah,
everyone felt you. So,
for
like,
sure.
like, if they told you,
False advertisement. We need to sue.
so I
Class
said
action.
so
What's
sell
up?
the dreams.
Who's the
I
lawyer?
try to be nice about it, but all right. But no, what I was saying was like, think about it. Like, if you could get out the way, for
You and
example,
someone in
like,
your family have been diagnosed with mesothelioma.
you have to relax.
My bad.
So, if you and somebody in your family have been designated with the limp licky licky, with the limp licky licky, with the limp licky licky.
It's been a long day.
Please call away
Sleep
100. I
deprivation
need
and
better
shit.
sucky sucky.
Hey, Charles is
sorry.
fooling.
All
Charles is
right.
fooling.
So what I was saying
How
was,
does it get
like, all right, if you could murder, let's say baby version of Andrew Jackson, are you feeling bad?
It's a baby. Thank you, KD.
Andrew Jackson,
He didn't even do nothing.
Trail of Tears, buddy.
And
Kill the baby.
he's also the reason why we don't have 40 acres and a mule, because the year
I might be
after-
wrong with the Trail of Tears, but he killed a lot of people. Andrew
He definitely
Jackson.
killed a lot of Native Americans.
He killed a lot
but
of
he
Native
definitely was the one that reversed the 40 acres and a mule thing, because somebody else put it in the Congress, and then
Nah,
when
he was gone by then.
No, Charles. He definitely
Johnson.
was. Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, Jackson
Did
was
that?
the one before that. Yeah, Johnson is the one
That you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Jackson. That's what I'm saying. There's a
Okay.
lot of evil guys. For example, if we
Andrew was just a nasty name.
yeah, I have a cousin named
Historically.
Andrew. I love you, Andrew, but
He's a nasty man.
they gave you a nasty person's name.
That's ridiculous.
So, for example, like, let's think about it. Like, if you try to tell me Susan B. Anthony, like, if we could get Susan B. Anthony out of here,
Charles,
are we upset with
that is
that?
a baby.
I'm just asking.
There is a okay. I wouldn't say baby,
Leopold.
but there's a certain point in time.
You
where
know how many Africans
Hold
Leopold
on,
killed?
hold on. This is what I have to say. Let me hear me out.
Reagan.
There's a certain point in time where you can see like, oh, this nigga's gone bad. We need to get him out of here.
So,
now.
so we have to wait till that point. Look at how many people. Like, here's the thing about Hitler.
How many
Like, if
lives
you get
affected?
Hitler out of here as a baby, we don't even get to the
All
point.
right. All right. They should have offed Hitler when they got to Poland.
But that's my whole point. You're
Then when he
allowing it
left
to get
Germany
too
to get
far.
to Poland,
Why are you
no,
allowing it to
he
get
was
this
still
far?
there.
If you have to just take out a baby,
We're not gonna act
you're
like
not just gonna take out the baby.
he brought them out of a depression, Charles.
But my thing is that you
They was burning
and
money.
then they went back after. Like my thing is
Yeah,
that like
because
so.
he want to expand all the way to Asia and Europe and shit. You want to go all the way to France, nigga. Germany that way.
I'm just saying,
Like you can't feed your soldiers if they in France.
to be fair,
over
they-
there, that's
to be-
a lot of
to
that's
be-
a lot
to
of
be-
oil.
to be fair-
that's a lot of soldiers.
to be fair, they-
you
they-
getting your ass whooped.
To be fair, they did take over France.
They did.
So it's
They
not like
crushed France.
it's
But
not
France
like
ain't won a war,
it's
nothing
not
like-
like they tried. They did that.
They did
like
that.
that was theirs. So let's put some respect on the Third Relic's name, like
No.
from a historical
Third
standpoint.
right. Third right.
I thought it was the Third Relic.
It's right.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. Oh, look at me being American. Third Reich. Yeah. So you're right. So like they did that. Like
They did that.
They won that. But
Hitler was Hermes.
1 through 8. But my point is that if you're trying to tell me we get baby Hitler out of here and we don't have any of that, who's upset? Like
But if that okay, which World War was Hitler?
2.
At this,
And the
okay,
only reason why he was 2
Let me take it
because he
further.
was around for 1.
let me take it further. If we would have, we need to off the nigga that killed Archduke Ferdinand then. 'Cause
That's
he started
fine.
World War II. Let's
Well,
let's
no,
work
he
him
started
then.
World War One.
Okay.
So
Then
yes,
okay, let's off him then.
that's my.
And then this
have
what
no-
happened.
No, but that's my point. Like if we got Andrew Jackson out, like for example, if we get George Washington out the way, who knows if the United States ever like we get King James or whatever. Like there's a bunch of. I have
King
a long
George
list.
or King,
Whichever
the actual
one.
nigga with the Bible.
There's a bunch of people who we
I mean,
can
'cause
get
he
out
was
the
under
way.
King George III.
I just wanted to make sure that I was equal opportunist, so I had a list of some women. I couldn't find a long list of women, but Susan B. Anthony was kind of up there, so I just threw her out there. But if you have any other women who need to be killed as babies, I have no problem getting them out the way as well, because I'm an equal opportunist. Like, I'm here for killing the babies for historical purposes. Like, should people... Here's the thing. Should billions and billions of people suffer, or should we just kill the baby? That one baby. Let's think about it. Ask yourself.
Is this communist China?
Ask yourself what's important. Ask yourself what's important.
What the fuck is this?
Ask yourself what's important.
You're scary.
Ask yourself what's important.
Nigga Charles said euthanizer?
I didn't say that though.
It sounds like a solid
You
joke.
act like I'm just trying to kill all the people. Also,
No.
I'm not even
I
just
only
doing.
say that because they're babies.
I'm not
Like,
even just being racist.
Babies
Like
are innocent.
I'm not even doing that as like Gandhi. He can be gone too. Like I have no problem getting people out.
No, we can definitely get Gandhi out of here.
Gandhi was mad racist, mad help imperialism,
He did not-
keep it pushing in
Islamophobic.
India. Got endless
Endless Muslims out of here.
Muslims out of there.
Why do you think Hindus have made such a big majority?
Colonialism in Africa.
The Taj Mahal was built by an Islamic leader.
Like, what is this?
It was built by a burial for his wife. I'm not hearing this nigga, and it's in India.
I'm not here to fight y'all. Can I have the tequila?
Oh yeah,
for sure, baby. You know what I'm saying?
No, there's a few. Like I'm sure there's a few African leaders that I.
Oh yeah.
What's my man from Rwanda who was like, he can go too, kill him as a baby. Like I am pro equal opportunities. Like Jim Jones.
Oh yeah, get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Get
No,
him
not
the-
the rapper, the one who made them drink the cyanide. Like
Yeah.
I'm pro getting
Donald, bro.
the only.
Donald Trump.
No, he was funny. We gotta give Donald.
Hey, that's some money.
He was funny.
He can
He
stay.
was funny. He can
That
stay.
is ridiculous.
Donald
Donnie
can
made
stay.
We get this mob out of here.
Donald can stay.
That's fine.
No. That means we're gonna get
get
Donald out of
we
here.
don't get
We don't get
Donald.
Donald.
That's fine.
Donald can stay.
We don't need the Trump
Donald
what he
can
did
stay.
to New York.
Donald can stay. Donald can stay.
What he did
Donald's
for
not-
New York.
Donald's not bad vibes.
What?
Then you
What
gotta
is-
get Biden out the way.
what
How
is-
you gonna get Trump out the way and not Biden? No way.
Oh yeah, we can get him out of the way
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Now we're going overkill.
So-
I'm making sure we're getting.
Are we really?
Yes, I'm making sure we
Get
get.
them all out of here.
I'm making sure we get really good historical.
So when it
figures.
comes to killing said baby, Charles, how are you killing said baby?
How are you making decisions?
I think somebody was gonna ask that.
Damn.
I had to.
I haven't gone that far.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're
I
asking
haven't
someone
gone
to
that
kill
far.
the baby.
But if
like,
anybody
yo,
has any humane ways to kill babies,
humane way
let
to
me
kill
know.
a baby, son, how did we get here, bro? How did we get here?
You asked the question.
No,
Because I'm
this didn't even have to get brought up in the first place. This nigga wants to kill babies. They talk about this in his speech
Evil
club.
babies.
His speech club.
evil. Thank you.
Evil
Evil
babies.
These babies aren't evil. You just said they're
So,
innocent.
so you're
They are.
hold on. So
But
Hitler,
they grow
so
up to
Hitler
be
was
very
evil.
evil and
Baby
Hold on,
Hitler,
hold on.
when Hitler
So-
came
so-
out of the
hold on.
womb, was he evil? No. He probably kicking around.
I don't
enjoying
know.
life.
I don't know. I don't know.
Might be
I don't know.
In the laws of space and time, at that point, you wouldn't be evil. So wait, it's an innocent child.
It's an innocent child.
So you guys are telling me
on.
Hitler was an innocent?
Yo.
He was a baby, yeah.
Well, if the story's already written now, but choices too though.
That's my point. I'm getting.
That's what
All I'm saying is what
there
we know.
becomes a certain
You're
point
acting
where
like
we need to off this little nigga.
you're acting like I have decided that like people.
Honestly,
like I'm listen.
13 years old, Hitler should have been out of here. Because he hit puberty, wasn't getting no bitches in, and from that point
See,
on,
I don't know
it was
that.
just like, no.
See, I don't know that. So
I-
I'm just trying to
I
end it all.
randomly watched the
let's
documentary.
not even do this to the beginning. Here's my thing.
We gonna act like
here's my
something. We
thing.
gonna act
We
like-
know he was evil. You're acting like I'm just trying to get anybody out of here. Like I told you, Donald could stay around because while he might be a bad person, I don't know if his bad is historically evil. Hitler killed millions of people and started a
This shit is historically evil.
and started
and I
a
had things to
world
back
war.
Trump up on historically evil.
Well, I can argue.
Brazil's president.
I can argue-
Modi in India.
What do you mean that they
Like
became
these
in power
lead-
because of Trump
One-
or due to him?
Yeah,
being?
1 to 1,
don't-
and then 2, they adopted his views, and then they conspired on him. But it's similar to what he did
so
with
then
the
once again,
Republican
I can
Party, you know what I'm
argue
saying?
that
You know what I'm
Reagan
saying? Oh, yeah, for
is
sure.
helped keep South
Brother,
Africa
brother.
in apartheid going. So like,
Yes,
like, what,
I agree.
like that's what I'm saying. I can
I
argue
agree
every
with you.
American president
We
is
get 'em
evil.
outta here.
I'm not trying to do that. That's why I went to George the
Hey,
first.
Obama, you out of here.
I went to the first. I'm saying like I'm trying to make sure that like.
Niggas just killing everybody at this
That's
point.
my whole
bro.
point.
Like,
I'm
what
not
are
trying
we
to do
doing,
that.
bro? Like,
I'm trying to be. Mook is trying to kill everybody.
The drone
I'm trying to
program
be
is
very
vicious.
specific
The
with
drone
my
program
killings.
was OC.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be
drone
very,
program was too
trying to
far.
be very specific with my
You
killings.
blowing up hospitals and schools, my nigga.
See,
Like, come on, fool.
In my
Like, that's
in my
ridiculous.
world, baby Obama, Trump, Biden, Reagan, they all live because George gets to go. But you guys know what
George
that
who?
Washington. in my plan, there's more people living. Y'all just want to kill everybody. See?
So you're just trying to get the first nigga out there.
I'm just trying to get the evilest of the evil.
Okay, that's why I said Hitler could live and the nigga that killed Archduke Ferdinand, he can go.
Would America develop without George Washington?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Probably
Yes.
no.
Yes. Bill Franklin is on $100 bill and he was not the president. There's other smart niggas around.
Come on.
Like all George Washington did was
George Washington, there's no Alexander Hamilton.
allegedly.
There's no finance.
There's others.
Allegedly.
Here's my thing about history.
Them niggas was gonna be great
The
regardless.
people who write
Let's be real.
history is written by the
Let's
victors.
be real.
So when something is written by the victors,
Yeah.
their story is told with exaggeration, both
Sure.
good and bad.
For sure.
Both good and bad. So with that being said, are you trying to tell me that it's just Washington and Alexander? No, there were plenty of other men and women in history who would never be talked about.
How many niggas signed the Declaration of Independence?
My favorite quote in particular, I
Niggas don't know
can't
what
quote
John
it
Hancock
perfectly,
did for real, but his name was the biggest on that.
but
bitch.
it's Frederick Douglass in which he says the Constitution was written and it took 25 years for the public to understand the contents and be told what was in it.
Mm-hmm.
This document in which we live and die by is not like this thing in which is democracy. No, this is a group of people, in particular, 25 to 30 white men
This is a
deciding
project.
deciding things. This
That
is
is.
not like an open form of democracy. So for me, I believe in it, but let's not go overkill. But that was my thing.
Not much has changed since then.
Yeah.
25 to 30 white
but
men in a room deciding shit.
Exactly, but I'm glad. but I'm glad we're okay with the fact. At least some of us are okay with the fact that maybe we have to kill some of these babies.
Oh yeah, for real.
What?
Certain babies.
Thank you. Please do not go overboard with it. I'm not trying to kill all the babies.
And I'm not saying
babies.
all y'all bad at fellatio.
These were the Hazie Thoughts for today. Brought to you by, this is perfect segue. Brought to you by Ain't Your Mama's Gas. Follow them on IG. My man's hit me. He told me in particular to try this strain out. He's been a big fan of it. So follow them on IG. Ain't Your Mama's IG, Instagram. Follow them.
Man, go to Giving Tree on H
I knew you was going to do that. That's what I'm saying.
for sure.
This is the promo section.
Tell them you know any of us.
Yeah, any of us.
Giving Tree on H Street in
Goes Hazie
DC. I think it's
Thoughts.
11 to 8 p.m.
Yeah, 11
Monday
to
through
10. Or you might catch them from 11 to 10 p.m.
on the weekends and
Yeah, for
11
sure.
to 8 p.m. on the weekdays.
Right
So
next to Nomads.
Giving
It's
Tree,
directly next to no
Giving
Max.
Tree
Y'all know the vibes.
in DC, and follow Ain't Your Mamas on IG. Tell them the High Coast Podcast sent you.
For sure.
All right, so we've gotten those things out the way.
Jesus.
Drinking good tequila,
Yet again.
good vibes. This time it's a different type. You feel like we're always drinking a different type of tequila.
No, we
but-
had that with Dream.
Oh, you know what? One thing I gotta say before we start too, y'all be liking some of the episodes, and the episodes where we really be trying to give y'all game like life insurance and financial advice. Y'all don't be clicking as much, but like when we be talking about like ass and like random shit like that, that's where y'all all be tapped in. Fellatio, and like I respect it. Like you trying to tap out, but I'm just saying like learn some things. So once again,
That's
fuck
what
with
she
Dree.
said.
Yeah, that Dream episode was very informative.
Listen, she's giving y'all game.
I didn't have
Get y'all-
life insurance, excuse me, until she came on.
Get you some life insurance, and listen, you can build wealth off of that. Like it's not about just dying.
Nah, for
it's
real.
about like building a base of money. So like, please watch that. Hit her. Tap in now. Rest in peace to Dolph. Couldn't start or really tap into this episode without saying that. I got a good story. Can I share real quick?
Of course.
Went to a Dolph concert, I think in like 2000. Damn, Shirley just left. Went to a Dolph concert with Shirley and Tunji. I want to say it was like 2014 or 15. No, I want to say 2016. Went to a Dolph concert with Shirley at Howard Theater. Shirley, me, Tunji went to the Dolph concert. Just know fried, sleep like whole time. Just in the cut, sleep at the concert.
Nigga wakes up with dog come on.
As soon as Dolph starts, I just fucking like wake up. Like I just fucking hear this nigga, and bro, one of the best concerts I went to. Like that shit was just fucking dope as shit. Rest in peace to just like we don't know any of these people, so I always try to keep that in context that like these are humans who live their own life, and you don't know what's going on with them or what's not going on. But energy, I think, is real. And when someone like that, I don't think you can fake something like that. And how everybody it seems to gravitate towards him, even people who you can even tell the people who fucking hated him and all that shit, they couldn't even say that with sort of the kind of the gumption that when you really hate a person, they had to be kind of closeted with their hate for him because he was that type of person. So rest in peace to that man, rest in peace to that family. Like his wife or his mother, his children, and his partner, she has a whole business. Black men should grow old. Yeah. Like the shit just it really makes me feel bad because I feel like we talked about this. If it was Pop Smoke, it was Nipsey. It was like we've talked about this in depth. Bankroll in depth on this podcast about like in particular, black men losing their lives and how people are kind of numb to it. How, like people are kind of like, yeah, that's what it is. That's part of the game, and how fucked up that is. Like that shouldn't be life. Like that shouldn't be reality for us. Like people shouldn't just be like, oh well, niggas die every day, B. Like that shouldn't be a thought process. It shouldn't be like, well, why he in his hood and shit like nah. You should be able to make it out of somewhere.
I can't come home
and go home and
like damn
and solicit businesses, give money, and drive your nice car. Like he shouldn't have to be in different types. He shouldn't have to be in different types of cars to drive around his neighborhood and do things. So while we saying rest in peace and mourning him, I just think like we should really take a second and step back and think about like as people and as a community like what this shit means. Like Memphis is crazy. Like I watched a video clip of this woman talking about like the open carry gun law, how like they got little.
You don't need a license to carry.
You don't need it. Like and like that's population control. And I know people hear that and they go, oh, but that's real. Like if you tell people like, yes, your decision to go kill other people with no consequence to be perfectly fair.
What you want them to do? You live in a high crime area already.
What you want? So like, let's really take a step back and like while we like mourn and we say rest in peace and we play his music, let's think about what that actually means for like a community of people because like I hate to say he's not gonna be the last person.
Son, that shit was triggering as fuck for me.
And that's the part that I think makes me sad.
That shit was triggering.
That I know for a fact he won't be the last person because like, this is part of how we live. Like, and that's not fair. Like,
cause my man Trail was gunned down this year.
You said it. You said it.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, and I actually had to sit down and like register that, like, cause I wasn't drinking, wasn't smoking for real, and I was sober as shit, and I was just like, bro, like my man got gunned down in front of his house, got hit 11 times.
My thing is that like to be fair to Speech Club.
And I'm just like, and he wasn't like one of them niggas. Like I'm like, I know some niggas that be in the street. I know niggas that do whatever they do with their lives, but he wasn't one of them niggas. Good nigga, you know what I'm saying? Show love to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like dead ass love. Like it wasn't no fake shit. Like genuine nigga. And I was just like, kill. And it's just like that shit was triggering. Cause it's like, I felt that similar how Dolph was. Didn't know the nigga. But it's just like bro, like that's just how I felt. Like that's how he came off. Like if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. But if I don't know you, then I'm not gonna act like I don't fuck with you either. So, but no, that shit was triggering, bro. Like niggas getting shot up just coming out of certain places, and it was just like you went home. Man, Trail got shot after coming out his house. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that shit was just registering. And then it's just like 3 of my favorite rappers got killed within 10 years. Bankroll, Fresh, Nipsey Hussle, and then Dolph. So it's just like, the fuck, you know? It's just really just like, all right, bro. Like it's too much, but at the same time, like you said, like that we talked about, like your story was written, my nigga. Like he wanted everybody to be independent in the rap music. So what niggas doing now? Niggas want to buy their masters back, like be independent, do all this shit, be in control of their wealth and all that. So it's just like maybe his story was done. He served his purpose. You know
Yeah, I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
life is crazy, so I don't really try to get into the if, ands, and buts about
No,
it.
that's just a coping mechanism
For sure.
for me.
But I think the truth of the matter is that, like, taking people's lives is
It's
something that is
ridiculous.
far too...
Thou shalt not murder.
It's far too something that people
That's
think
in the
it's
Bible.
okay. They think it's just part of... And I think it's because we live in a violent society. Like, shout out to Speech Club, like, this is part of our society. It is a place where people think this is okay. Violence, whether...
Why do I not need a license to carry a weapon?
Whether it's like...
That is insane for Memphis.
Yeah, whether it's...
That's
whether,
not the only state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
I don't think it's just like the idea of that. I think it's just idea of violence. Like, yo, let me fight you, let me beat you, let me take like this is part of our society and how we rectify issues. Like for all the hoopla of the sister girls and all that, some of the shit I fuck with is they're like, yo, let's talk shit out. Like, for whatever that's worth, that would lead to a better. I was at dinner discussing.
So what you're saying is niggas should have listened to Eisenhower?
Well, no, I was at dinner with a few
I'll let you finish, but I'll explain when you're done.
friends, and we were talking about like going to war and how if you have to go to war,
Should
that
listen
is
to
a lack
Eisenhower.
of diplomacy.
Yeah.
Like let's be honest, every time you actually have to get to physical confrontation, that means you weren't able to sort it out verbally, or you weren't able to rectify it through any other medium.
This is the last.
Violence is not some sort of win. It is a failure in diplomacy. And I don't think we look at it that way. We look at things like, oh yeah, now I'm about to conquer you. Like people are looking for violence because that is one way to say you conquered somebody. And that's what
I
people
got a one up.
and that's what people are ultimately
I
trying
got
to
my
do.
leg back.
And that's what people are ultimately trying to do. So, just rest in peace, Dolph. Rest in prayers for Memphis,
For sure.
for that city, for that area. Key Glock, his family, and for everybody who's just involved with all that. Because that, like, once again, like, death is final. And I think that's something that,
And it affects more than that one person that you kill.
and I think sometimes we have to take that into even the murderers. Like sometimes I don't think people are desensitized. Like you have to take into account that once you kill someone, that's final.
Yeah.
There's no coming back. There's no.
I've never killed somebody, but I really feel like a piece of you leaves when you kill somebody. Like I really don't feel like you can just be a regular person after that. Like
I don't know what goes through the minds of
me either,
anybody,
but that shit is just like that's totally different. my
I just
nigga.
say
Like,
that
I
to
don't know how you take a life and just think you can just continue
Everyone's
living
different.
your
everyone's different. That's what I'm saying. So
people
I
can
just
do that
and that's
shit.
what I'm saying. So
Those are sociopaths.
I don't think so. I think there's certain people who like circumstance whatever. So I just like I think
Self-defense
this is
is
a
different.
this is a society thing. I think once you
I'm
live
gonna
it-
say self-defense
once you
is different.
I
desensitize
couldn't
yourself.
live myself off the self-defense.
Exactly. I think once you
Personally.
desensitize yourself to these things,
I
it
can
becomes a
justify
lot easier to do these. Like this is the thing. Like we watch people get killed every day. Sometimes on TV. Like this is not an norm for some people.
It was a shooting while we were smoking in DC.
For some people, that is just part of life. That is just like, oh yeah, and it could be me. And if that is and that's what I'm saying. I think it's as much a mindset thing as it is any sort of like neurological like. It's like yo repetition. We're okay with it. Like we're okay with murder as a society. Like let's keep it 100. Speaking of people who are accused murderers, Kyle Rittenhouse got
I knew it was coming.
off. Man,
Because I was gonna say
No, speak on that. Yeah.
to the point of
We got 2 minutes.
Talk.
like having a nigga or not a nigga, but just killing somebody and not feeling like this nigga killed 2 old people, got off at a young age. It was like, dog,
18.
how are you living? How are you about to live
I
with
think it was
this?
17 when he did the
17,
murder.
yeah.
That he used when he killed those people.
I'm sorry.
The weapon that he used.
Oh, the AR. I
You owned
mean,
it legally.
listen, I didn't.
Like,
Well,
what
you
you
can go
talking
for it.
about? That was his
I didn't.
weapon.
I didn't subscribe
Nigga
to the
can't
trial
tell
at
that.
all, so I don't know. I don't know what happened.
It's his. You're not allowed to have it.
I heard the
Gun laws in
man
that state say he's allowed to. He's allowed to do what he did.
definitely allowed to do what he did.
Right.
Was he allowed to kill someone? He shouldn't have been, because
Gun
obviously
laws
he got
in that
off.
state say he was allowed to do what he did.
Self-defense, yeah. Allegedly.
I'm not arguing anything y'all saying.
I'm not-
Gun laws are what in that state allowed him to do what he did. He was able to carry that gun because it was
I'll rebuttal you very soon. But I'll rebuttal you very soon.
And I said him because he's a white man.
Listen, I will agree to all your general premises that the law states da-da-da.
Yeah.
But once again, we've done this many a times before for many other issues.
Let's talk about it, Charles.
What is law versus what is right versus morality versus all that other thing? I'm not willing. I don't want to sit up here and argue the law because what the law says
Charles.
is null and void to me. No. For me personally, is null and void. This is the same law that people
I want to let the world know I side with Charles.
No, and I think you all do, but I get to your. I fundamentally get your point that we are in a society. We live within a group of people. So when things happen, there is a law. There is a justice system. There is all this. Inherently, we know the justice system is skewed. My thing, in particular, I think that makes the Kyle Rittenhouse thing so interesting is that he killed other white people. And this goes back to an issue that I think we've talked about maybe once or twice on here when we talked about like the civil rights with when we talked about Medgar Evers during that time period where there's this infamous story about the two Jewish people and the black people part of I think it was SNCC or the SCL, whatever the youth movement, they get killed. And I want to say...
two Jewish guys and a black dude.
I want to say it's either Alabama or... I don't want to say Georgia because that doesn't sound
Alabama.
like...
It was either Alabama
or Mississippi.
Yeah,
they get killed there trying to register voters, and it becomes a big national thing.
KKK killed them.
Ultimately, those people getting off...
They were trying to find the bodies, and they ended up giving the bodies back.
Mississippi. Ultimately, these people get off. And it resonates because it's... two white faces as well as a black face, and the question becomes, hey, it's not just about black people dying. It becomes an ultimate da-da-da. Things happen. You read a history book, you'll find out for yourself. For me, personally, this resonates because this is about something greater than race. This is about the violence of a society. Just spoke about it with the young Dolph situation. We are a violent society. The Western world, the United States of America. Okay. We are a violent society. Okay. So whether you kill black people versus black people or white versus black or white versus white, when you are killing for a cause, that ultimately matters more than anything.
And I'm going to tell you right here to your face, Charles. That's why I don't give a fuck about that verdict. Now y'all feel...
No. And I will say that's...
I need them to, because that's the only way shit going to
continue. And this is why I would say you were wrong, because this is what I would say. Because... No, and I'm going to tell you why I would say you're wrong, because this is what I'm talking about. The verdict... I get what you're saying, once again, fundamentally. You're right. But the issue at hand...
I'm only speaking from a fundamental perspective right now.
But you said they have to feel what you have feel. So it's a fundamental standpoint.
That's why I said I'm only speaking from a fundamental perspective.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah. But my point goes to this, that this is the issue at hand. Kyle Rittenhouse killing those white people is not a reflection of white people killing white people. It's a reflection of a society that sees what happens when white people have said they will no longer allow the status quo.
Or side with the status quo.
Or side with the status quo that is white people.
Yeah, for sure.
Kyle Rittenhouse was
that protest that them other two white people got killed at was not for no white shit or nothing.
Kyle Rittenhouse was a defender of a racist system.
For sure.
He defended all these things.
100.
And because he was doing that, whether he killed white people,
he got off because of status quo.
And whether he was killing white people or black people, that didn't matter.
At all.
He was defending the status quo.
For sure.
And I need that to be very important to this issue.
For sure.
Not some kumbaya moment where it's like, hey, we're all in together. No. But it's the idea that, look, this is greater than you as an individual and what your identity matters.
But we've been saying, Charles, asking humans to be humans is a tall order.
It is, but at a fundamental point, we're living in a time where we're asking everyone to be more human, whether it's telling people to accept pronouns, whether it's telling people to accept blended families, whether it's telling people to accept shit like universal income in all facets of our life.
Niggas can't accept healthcare.
I get what you're saying, but in all facets, we are asking people.
I feel like that's a very human right.
Whether we're doing it as a society,
China's talking about invading Taiwan, and
whether we're doing it, listen,
class of people, millions of them, locked up in internment camps, concentration camps,
whether listen,
all that other shit.
But I think that's once again, I think that's a very
we're asking people to be human.
I think it's a very weird barometer to bring up China in a.
This is the second time I brought up China today.
But I think it's a very weird barometer to bring up them in a human rights things because that is this to me this is the issue at hand.
That was because you talking about killing babies. I was using nation. That's what they was on. That's communist China.
No, I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about
I'm just saying, baby,
from a human rights standpoint.
You see the parallels, though.
Don't
do that.
I get what you're saying.
Charles, don't do it.
Listen, killing babies for population control and killing babies to stop evil. To stop evil.
I was not trying to bring up that.
To stop evil.
That trigger word?
To stop evil.
Why you bringing up trigger words?
I'm just saying. I think it's a difference. I think it's a difference.
Why you do all that?
I just think it's a difference. I think killing babies to stop the evil that will happen that will precede them is different than killing babies because I don't want too many women in my society.
You deflected, but continue.
I think that's different. But also, from the China standpoint, I think it's weird to bring up. Like, here's my thing about it's like being like, yo, I live in the American government. Like, we know the American government is bad. So, but the issue is for us to challenge them. People in China, I'm sure there are people in China who want to and who are actively doing it. I don't get into Asian politics. That is not I will tell you right now.
I'm a world politics type nigga.
I feel you. I have a very minuscule Asian politics reach because for me, what goes on that side of the world is very unique to them and their historical issues.
Touche.
So for me, like,
but you're involved in the stock market, right?
For sure, but I literally own one company that is outside of the America, and it's so like I'm even cognizant in some of those things just from that standpoint.
Touché.
But I would argue that like the way the world works on the eastern side, like there are not many people of African or Black heritage on that side of the world. Like that's just a fact that's just a fact. Like, there are people, don't get it twisted, there's going to be someone like there are. Yes, I didn't say there were none.
Yeah, there aren't.
But
many. But
the numbers in which people who look like me are in the Western world.
Nigga, it's definitely more people in PG than there is probably in Asia, period.
It's a far greater number. So, issues that affect people, whether it be in Europe, whether it be in South America, whether it be in the Americas, are far compatible to my sort of historical standpoint. My personal issues and feelings than are East Asia or the Eastern world. Not that it don't matter, but I think it's very important to be like, yo, the motherfuckers don't be treating people well. Like, yes, of course. Sure.
I just say
they're very evil too.
We trade with them a lot.
And I think
this is tax exemptions.
But I think this is the issue here. Like
American companies,
activists on the ground level, for example, has no control over trade.
A lot of tax dollars and things.
Has no control over tax and trade
I feel like.
between the United States and China.
But don't argue with me about what's going on. I'm not talking about you, China.
No, I'm not saying you. But why can't they? Because they're arguing from a human rights standpoint. You're arguing from a larger socio-economic standpoint.
I'm arguing for a human standpoint.
I get what you're saying.
I just understand it on many levels.
I'm not saying that you don't, but what I'm saying is that it is multi-level. The
reason I read about world news is for human rights shit.
I get what you're saying, but it's multifaceted. I'm sorry.
For sure.
So it's levels to this. So
I want to know how this affects me on a day to day. I want to know what tax dollars going into this. I want to know what representatives and Congress they got to say on this. Like that type shit.
We talked about Israel so much on here.
Palestine.
The state of Israel.
The occupying state of Israel.
The occupying state. So we talked about it many times. That is the same issue at hand. It is an issue of a human rights versus the social, economic, and the historical standpoint.
For sure.
So while there are people who will look at it from a very black and white, hey, there's people being oppressed. There are other people not being oppressed. That's it. That's where I think most people look at all these issues.
Sure.
What's going on in China? Yeah.
But I'm one of them niggas that's just like, we're continuing this by just living day-to-day life by buying certain products and shit like that.
My thing is you're asking people to do the labor. No. But you are, though. Because if you're asking for them to understand
I inform people by saying what I say. I don't ask nobody to do what I do, Charles.
I get what you're saying.
As a friend, you should know. I don't ask nobody to do what I do.
But the implication with informing because this is what you do when you teach, is that if you don't break it down from all levels, then you're implying that they understand.
But me breaking it down on all levels would imply that you understand on a certain level, and certain people not even.
And that's my point.
The first level.
That's my whole point.
So I leave it there.
But that's the whole point.
We're on the podcast talking now, and I know you're more informed than most people, so that's why we get into the depth.
I'm not saying that we can't do this, but I'm saying if.
But I'm talking about regular people.
But that's but this is the issue though. Once you
you're not hip to that, they say no. I get once you basic background, leave it there.
I get what you're saying, but once you disseminate information, you have to be responsible for how it comes across, fair or not.
For sure.
So when you say things,
one thing I've learned, I watch my tongue.
But see, my
delivery is totally different.
But that's a different thing because I don't think, me personally, I don't care about.
I don't get angry when niggas not hip no more.
But my thing is, I don't care about delivery. Me personally, I get what you're saying, but delivery doesn't matter to me because that is something that other people take in.
For sure.
So people, if they are willing to be offended, they will be offended whether you're screaming or you're talking like this.
But I don't come across as if you're dumb though.
But that's my point. That's condescension. I don't think that has anything to do with tone.
For sure.
That's just how people take it.
Yeah.
Like people could be like, "Yo, I'm being condescending," or he's being. That's all about how anybody perceives human interaction. My whole thing is that once you start giving out information and once you start teaching, you are responsible for how it comes across at a very baseline. I'm not saying that you are, but I'm saying that
what you said.
Just what I'm. So people, I think people look at things from a very. Hey, they're doing something wrong to people. Human rights.
For sure.
That's it. They're not understanding that the same way that the United States of America can be wrong to black people and still uphold human rights on the world stage is kind of what China has done, position itself in the 21st century. The United States of America for the 20th century was telling the world.
And China Africa specifically.
The United States for the 20th century was telling the whole world to do this, do that, while lynching 9 black people per week on record from 18...
I don't know that stuff.
I know it. I want to say it's from 1894 to 1953. This is something documentation, and this is the people who were lynched, and we don't even have those records.
That lynching was legally legal.
And I might even be stretching it because you'll probably be going back to 1864. But my larger point is that people...
They were selling tickets to niggas getting hung, bro.
It was
a real life spectators.
When you are a world power, you have a different way of communicating your atrocities. And if anything, history tells me you will get away with it because the United States of America got away with it for centuries.
For sure.
So this is what China's doing.
We helped Nazi Germany get away with it too. We hired endless of their scientists, the nigga that created NASA. Boom.
So with all that being said, like I just want to put all that in perspective when bringing up something like China. So to be like, yo, they not respected. Yo, Ferguson was not too long ago.
No,
all them activists was getting.
We still don't know
going missing where they at. And that's what we're accusing China of right now. So I just want to make sure, like before we throw glasses.
No, for sure.
We throw rocks.
No. Come on, Charles. You already know.
Just.
That's why I said American companies, tax exemptions, all that shit. That's why I said what I said when I was talking about China. Because it's just like, no, U.S. companies are the ones escaping to go over there. Oh, yeah, China, we give you a tax exemption, you come over here. But you got to work up there where the Uyghurs live at, though. They Muslim, you don't got to work. You don't worry about them. We going to bring them in a concentration camp. They're gonna be Chinese men at the end of the day. But they don't even count them as Chinese people. Like, and they in China, they count them as Turks.
Crazy game. You want to say something? I feel like you've been itching to get in here.
Oh, I had something to say. It had nothing to do with the topic at hand.
Let's change it because I was about to switch topics. So.
I lost it anyway. But it was I felt like you had a hypocritical statement about something that was previously discussed in podcasts a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nothing.
Pretty sure he does though.
Yeah, I mean
niggas be grown.
Yeah, I may have changed my stance, or it may have just be hypocritical. I don't know. You just have to let me know what the stance was.
It's one for both.
Definitely one for both.
Yeah, I almost cut you off, but
you should have.
It would have been very ignorant of me. It was.
Why not? You should have. Like, listen,
no.
We're free flowing here. Shout out to Kamala.
For what?
Well,
Nah, dead ass. I'm actually curious.
all right. So,
Like for what?
thank you. So remember I was talking about anesthesia on here.
We did it, Joe.
Remember when we were talking about anesthesia on here one time?
I'm about to get anesthesia
Yeah.
too.
All right. Good job.
I'm scared.
Enjoy the vibes. No,
really
it's great. This weekend, Joe,
Niggas are
Sleepy
pro drugs
Joe.
on this podcast.
Sleepy Joe went under anesthesia for a colonoscopy, and in doing so,
Did he
Yeah,
wake
this-
up
yeah,
and,
this on the
tweet about
25th.
some shit?
he had to sign over.
The 25th. He had to invoke the 25th Amendment. People
In
don't
doing
know if
so-
the president's under anesthesia for a certain amount of time. He has to invoke the rights to
and
the
And
Kamala
Kamala
was
became the first
She was
woman
prezi.
president
Yeah.
in the unit history of the
did see
United States
that.
of America.
Wow.
So make some noise for Kamala. She hasn't really done much in her tenure, so shout out to her. Slow cat.
Y'all shit.
Yeah, shout out to Kamala. Like
That's
that
still
was.
your girl?
Here's okay. So
Now
because
that we're here.
That's what I'm saying. We're here. Is that still your
now that we're
girl?
gonna talk
But
about.
you told me this. You told me it's not possibly your girl. And
Listen. All right, here's my thing about Kamala. Kamala, I'm talking to you.
Hold on, before we get there, how long was she president for?
I think Joe came. It happened on Friday morning, so I think she was like. I think it was like 4 to 5 hours. So I think it was like.
Oh, she only had 4 to 5. Yeah, that's all right.
Joe was.
Man, it was general anesthesia. It was colonoscopy or some wild shit.
He wasn't out that drink for like 5 days. Like,
I thought she would have got a 24, not 4.
nah, she got like a working day. Like she got like a half
Half a
day.
day.
She got-
Out of there by lunch.
yeah, for sure.
That's fucking
For sure. You
hilarious.
think
Definitely got half
Joe's
day.
like 70? You think he's giving up that many hours of presidency? You're
At all.
bugging.
At all.
You're bugging.
I've been trying since the 80s.
He's.
Nah, bro.
You think he's about
I've
to
been
just?
trying
I
since the
got it in
80s.
finally.
Hey, you
I'm
think
not
he's
giving
just
this
giving it
up.
up? Like
Fuck
what?
no.
Off the colonoscopy? Come on,
Yeah, it's wearing off now.
you gotta
Kamala.
come. You gotta come harder than that.
I'm
He
ready.
probably stamped the joint on the jump. I ain't signing that
No,
shit.
hold on. Damn, I had a. What were
You
you
know,
about
you
to?
were going for Kamala. You were going,
Okay, yeah.
I was
So
asking
alright,
you
so
if that's still your girl.
All right, so here's my thing about Kamala.
You looked to the camera and said, "I'm going to talk to Kamala."
So Kamala, this is to you personally. You jugged us, like straight up finesse and jugged us, and I'm not mad at you. Like,
Jugged you. I wasn't on her side.
well, they voted for your side, so you jugged us. So with that being said,
Definitely won.
here's what I'm gonna ask from you.
I wasn't Team Kamala.
He was Team Biden, which is Team you.
I was Team.
Not Trump, which was Team Biden, which was
Nah, I
Kamala.
thought he was about to say that motherfucker. Oh,
Team Donnie? I ain't do that.
No, he did. He did
I
opposite.
joked about it. I ain't do it.
But
Should have.
come on, like I was saying before, I can't finish because these guys are rude. But
that is on record.
my issue with you is
My
that
bad.
you was going super hard. Like you were going super, like we're all in this together. And I get the vice president is not really a popping job. Like they really not giving you too much. They really got you on the bench. So I feel you like from a historical standpoint, it's just really like what can you do? So I'm not even about to hold you because that would be kind of sexist to be like, yo, why you ain't doing much when like the job don't really got much to be done. So I get that. So I'm not gonna hold you. But what I will say is that
I should not be seeing the first lady more than you.
all I'm saying is that like your energy was super high. Like you was dancing, you was doing all that shit, and now all you do is just be walking around the building, and I don't get that. Like
Great photo, Jones, though.
the stills are beautiful.
The aesthetics are amazing.
They're lovely, but I would like a little bit more like I seen the tweet you had about the Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, could have came a little harder, buddy. So I'm just asking you like. I need the energy to be up a little more. And this might be unfair to you. This might even be a little sexist, but I'm gonna need you to do a tad bit more because I had you as my profile picture for quite a while, and now you're making me look bad. Like the street,
That was a terrible photo.
You definitely look bad.
the streets are acting like what are you doing? So for my sake, I would just ask if you could like get on your Dean a little bit, you know, that's what I would ask. Like I would.
Charles, I think I told you a while back how I think they saved their whole
You never did.
bro.
I'm not gonna take a piss. I ain't fucking with Charles.
They wiped the loans.
This nigga sick.
If they wiped the student loans, man, I think that saves their
nigga
whole
sick,
term.
bro.
Hey,
Because I mean, that's what you said you were going to do, and I think that was their claim to fame. obviously more stuff than that, but that was literally the claim to fame to all of us kids, millennials, or whoever's above us.
He don't even fuck with the politics.
I hate politics. I was there at one point. I was talking to Chris at Sandlot about this a week ago. Like, I was there at one point. I was super entrenched. I don't care about it no more. But you got the people like me that don't care, or just people in general that are in student loan debt. And I feel like if they do that, they win this term. Kamala's not that bad. And like I think I told you, I think it's going to happen like 2023 type shit. You know, we're 21 right now. They're going to go to 22. They just did the little bill.
Infrastructure joint.
Yeah, it was a big ass bill, but they just did that.
To be fair, it was started at like trillions.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And they dumbed it the fuck down. I actually read about it because I just felt like being informed. But it seems like it's gonna be good. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we need stuff like
you do that. You do that student loan bill. You get rid of student loans, man. I think they saved their term, and I think it's 2023 when that happens.
Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. If let me tell, and all right now,
I did the political point too. I'm terrible.
I did a plea to Kamala, and I'm gonna do a plea to the Democratic Party. I don't know if y'all saw what happened in Virginia. We live in the surrounding areas.
I saw that shit.
Virginia's not too far. They had a governor who just won, and let me tell you why he won. He won because of something called critical race theory. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's a thing, right? It's a thing where like white parents are scared that their kids are learning about how they're bad people, and the truth of the matter is nobody is fucking teaching anybody that. Like, that's not what's happening. Critical race theory is like a college level course that even people in college don't take. Trust me. I wasn't gonna take some shit like that. But my point is that the dude, like the governor, literally became governor because people were able to spin that. The Democratic Party, I plead with you. I beg with you. Learn to talk about how race affects everybody. And when I mean everybody, like this might not be kosher, this might not sound good, but white people are also affected by race. And not just the fact that they are racist. Let that sit with you. White people are affected by race and not just the fact that they are racist. There's plenty of white people who are racist. But there are white people who are affected by race in a negative aspect. Might not be the same as black people, but they are. So once you learn how to talk about race to those people, you will have a better chance at maybe winning some of these rural swing states. Like, you can't just keep depending on Atlanta, Detroit, Philadelphia, all your major metropolitan black cities to win you these races. Because at a certain point,
talking about the Virginia.
No,
race.
he's talking. At a certain point, they will not do it. People will be tired and fed up. People will be tired of your lies and you not coming through. So I implore you, Democrats, Clyburn, I know you're old and you don't really like to be called out, but please do something for your party. You only have much time to be on this earth. Please help them. Please.
You think if they don't pass that bill, you think they're going to lose to Trump?
They might not lose to Trump, but they're not winning 2024. So it doesn't have to be Trump. Trump has set the seeds for the next person to be. The Republican Party has decided what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're not going to meddle with race, and they're for big business and what they are for.
And taxes.
So the idea of like a race government. The idea of race politics is a perfect example. That's when they bring it up in the idea of limited government. Mm-hmm. So their racial politics is
that's a state's issue.
Their racial politics are literally, do you want your school board telling you how what your kids should learn in school?
For sure.
Do you want your senators and your? That's their racial
that was
politics.
The commercial, dog.
That's their politics. It's a very sinister and smart ploy. Mm-hmm. It's a ploy to people's feelings. It is not a ploy about policy. Mm-hmm. It is, hey, do you want guys? Literally, they're so smart that they're like, look, do you want me in your business? No, don't vote for the other guy. Mm-hmm. Think how smart that is. Hey, I'm running against the guy for the same office, but you don't want us in your business, do you? So vote for me.
Yeah.
Huh? Because I don't want you in my business.
Huh? Like, literally, that's the ploy. It's not about anything
Talking
else.
the feelings, not policy, so I can pass whatever policy.
See, that I want.
They feelings.
So I can pass any policy that I want. Let's keep this in mind.
Yeah.
So I implore you, listen, you're not going to change the feelings of racists.
Mm-hmm.
You're really never going to do that. But what you can do is maybe employ their logic. So if you tell them, hey, this dude is running game on you the same way this other guy is, and let me show you why, it maybe could help you. Black people understand racial hierarchy and
Racial propaganda.
all the issues of racial issues in America. Black people understand it. It's not a new thing for them.
Hey Molly, I really like this jacket.
Get your white rural Americans to understand the racial issues
I
at
had to
hand.
say that. I'm sorry.
Have we talked about DaBaby on here and Danny Lee?
No.
Whoa, what?
It's been all politics.
That's where we're going?
And also,
That's
I've been enjoying this. I can't even lie.
Time out.
I usually hate it.
Time out.
I'm not a fan of it.
Time out.
DaBaby.
That's where we're at now, Charles?
This is what Charles wants to get to.
Okay, talk to
There's
me.
a host of things.
You, first of all,
Hold on.
Can I just cut here?
Do your
We got
thing.
5 minutes.
Come on. Do you
I apologize for cutting you off.
You don't have to apologize.
Because I don't know where you're going to take that topic.
What do you
Someone allow you to finish that thought. What do you have to say?
Please,
on Mr. DaBaby.
The baby,
and Miss
the baby, the
Danny Lee.
mama, the baby,
The baby mama is what they was calling her. The baby mama. The baby mama. One word.
That's the title of the episode. The baby, the mom.
Nah, we're not doing that.
What do I have to say about it?
Yeah, like, why do you want to talk about it?
Why don't I want to talk about it? Because I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting for multiple reasons. I think one reason it's interesting is because it speaks to how we.
with baby mamas.
I think it speaks to how we see relationships as a society. Because I
There you
think
go. Yet again.
I think we have to be honest.
Once
Like
an episode.
we have to be honest about how we think.
Yeah, relax.
Certain things are part of a society. So we see people having babies out of wedlock, whatever you want to call it, shacking up. And we have a certain level of what's the good adjective? Ambivalence to it. We're like, okay, that is what it is. We're like, all right, that's part of what it is.
Got it out this
That's a
time.
goddamn good
Right?
word.
That's the first word I've got out today.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
So we're like, hey, it is what it is.
Jesus.
It is part of the game.
Might be the first time this season.
But with
sure.
that,
For sure.
I don't think once again about being honest. We're not honest to how these things affect a larger situation. So when you're with somebody and you have decided that you're going to have someone's baby, and this man has decided to have multiple babies with other women and not do good by them, what are we asking as a society? Are we asking him to now change his behavior? Or are we asking you to take responsibility for not being a good decision maker?
And that's why I apologize, because I said I didn't know where you was going to
And
go
I
with
think that is the
motherfucker.
conversation at hand. This is not to shame Danny Lee or anybody who is in a situation similar, but it's to. But no. The question is to ask, who is at fault here? Is it at fault to be, because this man literally was on camera saying you was a side chick. You knew what it was.
And while posting her, kissing her,
While posting
doing
her,
all this other
while
wild
the
shit,
woman,
like, that was his job.
Now listen. While the woman is going back 2 and 3 years trying to post stuff, and I'm seeing other women, seeing other women say, "Oh, they're embarrassed for her.
Yeah.
Oh, why is she doing the most?" So for me,
I thought I was the jump.
I gotta ask the question: which one is it? Is it the idea that this man lied to you, he did you dirty, and now you're out here looking stupid, or you knew the whole time and you made a bad decision?
I'm gonna blame the man.
So, and this is, and once again, this is just a question. I'm asking this question
I'm gonna say that because I'm a nigga that has put a jump. Yeah,
through some shit.
Yeah,
so I respect that. But my thing is that putting women through issues.
Nah, real shit. You gotta be honest.
Alright, no.
No. Let me
You said you the side jump. You ain't a side
You
joke
gotta
thought that
believe
she
me?
was the main joke.
You believe in me? For one, listen.
Niggas never had. James,
Nah, this nigga's a
James,
whole-
you said once episode we not about to have it. Come on,
This
Smith.
nigga's a whole rapper, bro. Come on, Danny Lee. You should be better.
She's
than
also a
this.
musical artist. To some respect,
How many kids did he have prior?
I want to say 3.
with 2 baby mamas.
So you got
baby
2
mamas.
baby mamas.
He had 1 real baby mama for real.
And
He
then
had
he
a
copped,
side
and
baby.
then he
with a
copped the
North Carolina.
IG,
The
and
North
then
Carolina
apparently he
baby,
copped
yeah.
the IG model.
Yeah.
Yo, you gotta know better, Danny Lee. I'm sorry. I can't.
So you're making my point then.
You gotta know better.
Ultimately.
I'm just saying.
But you
I'm
also
just saying
can't
to
put-
him.
but
I
you-
can't. You said I'm blaming the guy. I'm
Because
like,
at some
no,
point he was
no.
feeding into the
I'm not
shit.
blaming anybody. They're both at fault. But
For
my,
sure.
Definitely both at fault, but I think
If this
it's
is a car accident,
51-49. Danny Lee, you gotta
No
look
fault.
yourself in the mirror more than my guy does.
But see, but this is my
not
issue.
my guy. The baby's not my guy.
No, but you know how we talk about we
Yeah,
use the
you-
word my guy. But this is my issue here. But this is my issue around the conversation being had is that
But he was treating her like he was his. That was her only job for years.
It's only 2.
2 to 3.
It's
But
only
see-
2.
but
You
see-
are sick, nigga.
but you see, this is my
That's
issue.
crazy.
This is
Y'all
my
are
issue.
dating at this
This
point.
is my issue.
Okay, you
That's
dating.
exclusivity,
You
my
just-
nigga.
You just somehow happened to
I
put
love
a
how
baby
I
in her.
mastermind these conversations.
That is
I
exclusivity.
love it.
Like, there's no way.
You see this?
2 to 3.
My brainchild.
He had
Bro.
1 child in 2 to 3 years.
I'm a rapper,
while dealing
my
with
guy.
1 woman.
I'm a
Okay,
rapper.
she was not the side jump. She had other side jumps on the other jump.
Listen.
She was probably the side jump to his baby mother.
The side shit.
He probably wants to be with his baby mother. That's why he worded
probably
it the way he did. But she is not the side jump in all explanations of things. Because y'all are living together.
He stamped her
Y'all
as the
have
side
a child
jump?
together.
Did he say she was his side
On
chick?
the video.
On a video.
I
It
didn't
is
know. I didn't-
On
documented.
Yeah, I didn't watch
Instagram
that.
Live.
It
This
is
was
a
the day
very
after,
cringy
Joe?
No,
thing.
the same
The
day.
same day when he was
He
trying to kick
kicked
her
her
out. Okay.
Go-
I didn't want
And
to.
this is what. And this is my issue.
Would you kick your baby mother out, Charles?
I don't know the whole.
Oh, wow.
And this is my. and this is my.
Nah, but
No.
from my understanding, right, he just came home and just kicked her out though, for no reason, right?
And
For
this-
no reason.
KD, you be trying, but I
And
don't
this
see
is my
the field
issue.
that way.
But do you see where my issue?
got the
Do you
plays
see where my
already.
issue lies now? We're kicking children.
That's what I'm saying,
We're kicking
bro.
children. And my thing is that this is not like a 3 and a 4. This
This
is
is
a
3
3-month-old child.
But why did he kick her out though?
Because
he just got home and he kicked her out.
Well, and this is a
So
he said,
if
she said
that's the
thing.
situation,
You know
no,
what
I
she
wouldn't
said?
kick her out. No,
She said
no,
because this man is continually having sex with her, nutting in her, and he got offended because she wanted
got
to
a
get Plan B. Now this is
Oh,
my.
the Plan B post.
So here's my.
That's the whole thing.
This
Nah,
is
her Instagram story.
and
was
this is what
funny
I'm
as shit, but
saying.
they have to-
this is my issue about
Hold
people
on,
putting.
She got mad at that. Come
He
on.
got mad. That's
He
what she
got
said.
mad at that.
This is once again. This is her word versus his word, and this is why I wanted to have the conversation because
He got a wild. All right, I might be on your side now.
Thank
He
you.
wilding at this point.
Because
what
this
you
is-
doing?
That's not your side jump.
What are you doing? It can still be the side joke.
No.
It can still be the side
No.
joke. But
It
you
is
can't
not.
be. You can't be
It
like,
is
yo, get
not.
out because
and
you're
this
not
and this
taking
and
the
this
Plan B.
and you know what? And this is where I have to start being a
That's your
and this is
joke.
where I have to be a capper. This is the issue with men.
I don't know if that's
men are too busy lying to women, and then
Absolutely.
after lying to women, being upset with the consequences of their lies.
For sure.
You have lied to this woman. You have made her believe that whether
You
she
built up a whole
whether
life
she
for
is
this
your
woman.
whether she is your side joint or not, you have made this woman believe that you guys have something.
You built a whole
whether
reality for
so
this
whether
woman.
she thinks she's your wife, whether she thinks she's your girlfriend, whether she thinks she's your life partner, you have sold this woman on something. On something. You know it. And I know it. And the rest of us know it.
And now you're trying to
And
deflect.
now, because shit has hit the fan,
You don't want
you're
to take
going to be-
ownership of your actions.
No. Now you take ownership. You know you're going to spin this.
Acknowledge them.
You know you're going to spin it because everybody else will agree with you. That's all this nigga is doing.
Not to mention, he just came out the fire for that age shit.
Bro, he's had a
Terrible
This
year.
man, listen,
Bro,
I don't know this
terrible.
man.
his series of events.
I
are
don't
just
know
crazy.
this man from nowhere, but what I do know
Killed
is
the
that
nigga.
this man.
Canceled.
No.
Baby
men.
mothers.
Let's go, and I thank you.
It went up.
And I thank you. And I thank you. Let's go full circle.
Bro,
He killed
he's
2
had
men.
Let's go full circle.
Family members
This is my
dying.
issue here.
Albums.
The baby
Like, bro.
can can murder someone, be accused of whatever, can do all these other things. But the issue in which the larger society wants to get him out the way for are his stupid opinions. He can be he can be on camera kicking out his baby mother and their 3-month-old child, and we're having a discussion about him in a very yes or no way. Like, there are two sides. He can murder a man, and it could be like, yo, he's a gangster and all this.
You got a full card.
Shit.
But
hold on. You might gotta.
Y'all still on wax though, so.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why we still on wax? He can do all that.
You might gotta delete something.
But
For that.
the issue arises
When he
says something that you do not like.
Yeah.
I want to put this in perfect perspective.
Charles, you got shit.
Wrong slot.
That
Battery dead too. Okay.
that the issue at hand for the baby
Camera working.
is not being a better father.
Welcome back, Nick.
It's not being a better human. It is appeasing to the feelings of certain people. And
A percentage of a percentage.
And this is my thing about a society, because we've been bringing up the society a lot. That's what I want to make. The society as a whole is willing to have. Nobody is saying the baby is canceled off of this. Mm-mm. Nobody is saying kicking your baby mother and your 3-month-old child is a cancelable offense.
That is a newborn.
People are joking and laughing and having a conversation about it.
And calling your baby mother broke.
You go to a concert.
She might be broke.
I've heard rappers say if you broke, then your baby father broke.
You go to a concert.
So which one is it?
And you disparage a group of people.
Kenneth.
And now we need to have a conversation about it.
I don't want to shove it in the camera.
And now we need to have a conversation about it. I need people to be honest with how they feel about all these things.
The fucking mechanism coming out that we can't get it out. Please don't force anything.
There is a camera issue going on, ladies and gentlemen.
You just being sensitive.
It's equipment, yes, you should be.
You should be. You guys may have missed us for a hot second.
It's not that bad.
Just continue, brother.
Yeah, no.
Cross the zone.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of crazy.
We rolling now?
How we've gotten to this point. You can toss that. No, it's just
That was a terrible.
I just find it very interesting.
Too long on.
I find it very interesting that these are the conversations that we're having, and when we're having them, like, people are willing to laugh and joke about this man allegedly kicking his child out of his house. And that is perfectly okay.
That's funny.
And that's perfectly okay. But no. You better not. You listen. He said something that I don't like about this. And my thing about it is that.
And that's the only reason
the baby?
And that's why I blamed him, son. It's just like, as a man, you don't kick your child out your house.
My thing is, man, you don't go give that to the world for what?
All.
He was like, yo, I need to do this for my safety.
Silly nigga.
He might have to do it for the safety, man. Niggas lost a lot of people in his life. You know, he might be going through a lot, man.
Is Danny Lee really sending shooters?
This is my thing about this is my
Never
thing.
know what a person's
Danny
going through,
Lee.
man.
This is my thing about this is my thing about context. We are the same people who be like, yo, these niggas is gangster. Like, why you like people be like, this guy's a big old gangster, but the little light skinned woman in the crib
She's
is
a demon.
exactly this. That's the
Are
problem.
you speaking from experience?
I would never.
This seems very personal.
Danny Lee, you are not a demon. Because that's nasty. Like,
Hey.
you don't know
She
this.
seems like a nice
You don't know
girl.
this woman for anywhere.
How does she seem like a nice girl?
I've only seen nice things from her. I've never seen her causing any ruckus in the media
The worst thing she did.
until she started fucking with the baby.
The worst thing she did was try to be like, yo, why are the black girls hated on me? That was a faux pas. You shouldn't have done that. Outside of that, like she had a mess up. And listen, I'm not defending you, but like you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have
was
done
an L.
that.
Outside
But
of
other
that,
than that, what has she done?
literally, and this is my issue here. Niggas is trying to be like Danny Lee might not be a good person, while the counterpart has been accused of murdering people.
Not accused.
Not accused.
Wasn't accused.
Not accused. He definitely did.
I know he did, but you know he got acquitted because
self-defense laws in North Carolina. This shit is crazy.
So
I tried to tell y'all
we got a
about
woman who
I tried to
despaired.
tell y'all about North Carolina, and this nigga the baby come out, and y'all be like, oh, them North Carolinians be wild. This nigga been trying to tell y'all.
We got a woman who disparaged. We got a woman who disparaged and had a bad grasp on racial, issues.
She's confused.
And we wanted to get her out the way. But the man who's a murderer,
that's all that was.
It's like, hey, maybe we should side with him in this situation.
You kill a nigga, you indecisive. You're not indecisive.
And we thinking he might not be in the wrong in this situation.
Charles.
This is you, not me, because I think he's in the wrong. But you're like, maybe,
I definitely think
maybe we should hear both sides.
51-49, but definitely should hear both sides, man. You never know what.
51-40.
Never know what that
You
woman.
and your fractions need to get the fuck.
And this is why
You never know what this
percentages.
woman is.
Thank you, Charles.
And this is why we're having
man
problems.
How about that?
This man is grieving. This man has bodies on him. We talked about this earlier about a man having to
about
live.
grieving, bro. Grieve properly, my nigga.
Hey, everyone
Grieve
grieves their
healthily.
own way.
Hey, brother.
You cannot
there
hold
are
a nigga
healthy
for how
ways
he
to
grieves,
grieve,
bro.
and there's wrong ways to grieve. Trust me.
I'm not on the baby side though.
I love how murder. We've been like, hey, you're a murderer.
Bro,
so
he's
maybe,
got to live
maybe
with
that's
two
okay.
bodies. You said he got two bodies? Someone said it went up. Molly said it went up. So I know about one.
He went like his clout went up.
Yeah.
This
He killed that nigga in that Walmart. He went
And
platinum.
y'all trying to tell me we don't live in a violent
It's
society?
very violent society, bro.
Self-defense.
Self-defense.
That's all you gotta tell people.
Count
Is that
Rittenhouse, bro.
you fear
Self-defense.
for your life?
You shot a nigga in a Walmart. You discharged a weapon
And you know
in
what's
a
funny?
store.
And you know what's
and
funny?
you were not held accountable. What if you missed?
I seen the story.
What if you did not hit that nigga?
Well,
I seen the story from the alleged
Black man
sister
got off.
of
Didn't
the
pay a fine
victim.
for firing a firearm in the store either.
No, I seen the story from the alleged victim sister, and she was like, the kid was just a fan who wanted like an autograph.
Damn.
Like that's the victim's sister's story. You can go find that.
Yes.
That he was just a fan.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up.
And we perpetuated this lie that he was. But in all actuality, the dude's a cold-blooded murderer. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, I'm always
There's
very.
a reason why that lady was screaming in the back of that video when that child was shot in the
I'm
motherfucking
always
Walmart.
very like. I'm always very like, yo, let's be very delicate with how we talk about this because
For sure.
someone's self-defense is
It's
another
some
person's
murder,
homicide
nigga. Like, come
in
on.
cold blood.
Killed the black kid, right?
Hey, I'm just leave it at that.
I guarantee you the difference. Then they make me I mean, oh shit.
Oh.
It's the game.
The F word.
We will be. We just got condone such talks.
The F word in
And we will be
2021.
bleeping that out.
For the gays.
Edging on 2022.
For the gays.
Can't
you
say
know?
that.
Then you make fun of gays to rap, bro.
My greater point is that
That's crazy how you can't say the F word no more.
That
man.
nigga's. Son, you gotta relax.
You can't, bro.
I'm just saying, like, how it got here is kind of crazy, bro.
what's crazy. My thing is that things evolve. Like, yo, if black people
My
were,
thing was it ever okay?
Bro, there was
there
was rap.
there were movies.
I
that,
remember
like.
I forgot who was doing the
Fuck out
verses.
to that population. Was it ever okay?
No, but that's the point. That's one thing. That's the issue at hand. Like, not when you're saying a disparaging thing about a group of people, it's never okay to them.
That's what I'm
It is the fact that the society as a whole doesn't care. When you, as a disparaging group, becomes affluent or you have enough access to be like,
So faggots, chinks, spics, nigger.
yes, with the ER.
It's gonna live
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Secret societies.
I got another one.
Bro, Jadakiss was doing his fucking
What they call
verses.
them, Jones?
Had to blank out the F word, bro. Not fuck. Had to
Yeah.
blank out the F word.
Bro, how
It's
many
like, Jesus.
American Pies movies, if you look back,
Steve
Bro.
fucking Stifler, bro.
do you know how many times they were dropping
Shout
the
out to my
F?
guy.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have grown as
Stiffmeister.
as a society as a whole where that is not okay. So my thing is that for me, I get people. Like, I get like, yo, but as a society, we are saying that is not okay. Whether I am about to, that's not something I'm about to go to war for personally. I don't feel the need to want to say that word that much.
At all.
So for me, if we're saying we're not using it,
Because I'm creative.
if we're saying we're not using it, we're not using it.
What?
The man said he's creative with his disparaging slurs.
With his slur. The fuck out of here.
I said I'm creative.
Jesus be
I
a
did not specify.
See, that's the issue.
All
See,
right,
this
bro.
once again, this is the
You know
issue.
what we were alluding
This is
to.
the problem. This is the problem. Like, we're not doing this no more.
If there are ways to get around it,
Get around what?
we are in America.
Get around
Exactly.
what?
Laws,
Yes.
Laws.
Taxes.
all that. And what you want to talk about? What was your question to me specific to? God damn it. How about that?
You talking about
Me being what?
you trying to dance around
I didn't
slurs.
say what I was dancing around what. I said I'm creative.
Right
In
after
in
we
response.
talk to yes,
In
listen,
response.
yes.
Is it a response or add-on?
No matter how you
No,
frame that,
bro, you
it
said
is-
this
You said this.
because something else was said.
You said this
What are you
on the
saying?
back of the word
Bro,
of the initial
You're not
statement.
getting this off, Chris. Like you're trying to get this up. You're trying to
Yeah,
spin
I
this
can't even
narrative.
let you get that one
You're
off.
not spinning
No,
this.
you
No,
did.
you did not. You did not get this
You
off.
didn't say you said
did not
in
get this off.
response
I said I got creative. So I got it off already.
after
Y'all already
the
know what I was
comment.
talking about. So why y'all doing
All
all
right
that?
then, bro.
So
What are you
that's the point we're
saying?
making.
Nigga, fuck out of here.
Y'all not creative too?
No.
Not with my slurs.
No, my slurs at
Y'all
all.
some liars right now.
Bro, ER me. What you talking about, man?
To be fair, you called me a darky once.
Wow, why can we never leave
You're
this
a
alone?
colorist.
I'm a
You
colorist.
definitely called me a darky
That
once.
was a long time ago.
That was kind of.
And it was a
Not
joke.
that long ago.
It
That was this
it
year.
No, it wasn't.
That was
bro.
nuts.
You gotta,
It was
you
kinda
gotta relax.
creative.
You gotta
It was
relax.
kinda creative.
It's creative. Yeah, your bag. Your bag, nigga. Your bag.
You just said you're not creative.
Yeah,
I know what I
yeah,
said.
you guys are
You're a
both.
liar.
You guys are both
I might
helping
be
each
a
other.
liar.
We all liars.
As you said last time we were here, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
Fucking sick niggas,
Full
bro.
circle, my guy.
Sick Negro.
They cannot live the darky comment down. It was a joke. It felt right.
It felt right.
Yeah.
Why did you say
Your MAGA card is being stamped, sealed, and delivered as we
I
speak.
ain't vote for him.
yours?
You didn't have to. The views are there.
The tie was pink. Everybody thought it was red. It was a pink tie. Magenta.
But the suit was. What color was the suit?
Wasn't a suit.
Yeah,
What color was the
these are
blazer?
good vibes.
Just a white shirt.
You know
What
what?
color was the
Didn't
blazer?
have on a blazer.
Is there
What color
anything
was the
else we
pants?
need to discuss in the world?
Pinstripe.
What is
What
that doing
color
in the
were the
world?
shoes?
Brown, nigga.
Katie, what is it? What else? Molly,
That was
what's
brown,
else
too.
going on in the world we haven't
MAGA.
talked about?
In the-
Anything else?
In the world?
Oh, Kanye and Drake, they're friends again. Shout out Free Larry Hoover.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't really move me, but that happened.
Shout out to Art, man. Free Art.
Shout out to Ye for making that happen.
Anything else you guys got?
Was it really Ye that made that happen?
Ye went on Drink Champs. He said we need to squash this beef so we can do this concert for Larry Hoover. A week later, we see a picture with him and Jay Prince. 3 days later, we see a picture with all three of them
I
together.
was talking about him praying Larry Hoover.
No, I was talking about
No,
the
talking
whole,
about the concert.
I was talking about him praying Larry Hoover.
Well, Larry was not free, so
Yeah,
it's
but I
not-
said
I'm talking about the getting the ball
The
rolling.
benefit concert is for
well,
that.
that's getting the ball rolling, and it's yeah.
I think that the
What are
bigger
you pointing
move,
to me for?
Doesn't it say something?
Not important.
for what's it, the 13th Amendment. I think it's his massive plan to abolish the 13th Amendment.
Who?
Ye has
No,
been
that's-
loving
that's-
that
I mean,
amendment.
steps towards it.
Charles said he found out about it at one point and just couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot when. What
That's what he
album? Was it
did,
the
just like
Pablo
him.
album? That's all he was talking
that's
about.
what
It's
I
like,
saw.
yo, he just found out.
I just feel.
And he still hasn't let it go. It's like,
He watched the
I love
documentary
Kanye.
on
I really
Netflix and was
love
just
Kanye.
like, I'm gonna get rid of that.
He watched everyone. He agreed.
I really love Kanye, and I really think he's good for the culture. But I
Love
think this
Kanye.
is the issue about like having people who are famous,
That nigga's a Zionist.
people who are famous
okay.
discuss people who are famous discuss things that they shouldn't discuss. Kanye is famous for his creative and his mind of sort of artistic genius. That's what I want from Kanye. Anytime Kanye starts delving into things that are sort of outside that realm, I get very, very concerned because I know he hasn't done the proper due diligence because that's not what he does. Like, for example, me, I'm not into clothes like that. I'll wear some shit just because, you know, I think it looks nice. So if you're gonna ask me like about like
Niggas will ask
textures,
Charles about this jacket and he be like, my man Molly made it.
you know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna ask me
Yeah,
about
like,
textures,
no
like I'm gonna
fashion
go to
shit.
him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, yo, this is my guy who like helps us get our shit done. But I could tell you some shit, but like if you actually like if I was drunk off the whatever, I'm smacked and I can get to line. I promise you I can get to line. And I feel like that's what a lot of happens with Kanye.
That
like,
is hilarious.
You guys ask him shit that he kind of feels passionate and strongly about, and he be getting to line. So for me, I only want to hear about music and maybe fashion with Kanye. Anything past that is kind of like, hey yo.
Remember on the interview, right? They asked him, so why you getting involved into the Larry Hoover stuff? He was like, cause all my niggas GDs, bro.
Son,
That's shit.
No. And here's the thing about that. And you know,
that's very honest.
I love that, bro.
and you know
I
why?
love
And you
that,
know
bro.
why I believe
That's
that?
very honest though.
Think about it like this. If right now we don't come from a place where we have gangs. We have neighborhood ties.
Yeah.
So if we are from in particular neighborhood, let's say Mook lived in a particular neighborhood in Glenarden. And he lived there his whole life and Mook got popping.
We have a card full.
Keep talking, Charles.
And Mook got popping.
Delete some old shit.
And as Mook got popping, he's repping his hood, and the hood, aka the gang, was like, this is what it is. So Mook was like, yo, shout out my I don't think any of us from here would be like, Mook is this or that.
Or a gang leader.
We would just understand that because where we're from and how these things work when you live in this place and you be around these people and you've grown up and hey, maybe your actual cousin and your man's actually is part of that, you kind of just fall into that. We look at that a little differently. I am going to, once again, I like Kanye. Please listen to this and take this with a grain of salt. I love Kanye. So I am capping for him. I am going out of my way to make understanding of his bad behavior. But outside of that, no, yeah, Kanye's fucking wild. Like, you're not GD, buddy. But you know what? But if you from the neighborhood and everybody seems to be doing that, I would understand why you might feel that is an affiliation you are willing to represent or bang with, if that makes sense. That is my capper for Kanye and his GD statements.
Yeah, that was a lot of cap, Charles.
We got 5 minutes on the camera.
They're telling me I got 5 minutes on the camera. If you're listening to the audio, you will have heard a lot more. Please listen to the audio. It all goes there. But with 5 minutes left, anything else we need to get out the way?
Yeah. I don't know.
Inflation and deflation. The deflation program that's they're trying to pull force now, bro.
I didn't even read too much into that.
My thing about inflation is that it is a thing that happens with history. So, like, look throughout history, inflation will happen, in particular of times of economic downturn. We're still in a pandemic for all of you who don't realize, and then during these times of events and crises, inflation seems to uptick. Will this happen on a linear trend? I don't know. I'm not an economist or a business guy, so please do not use this as any financial advice. But I do think that
Charles is wild, bro.
I do think there is something to be said about what is going on, like with all the idea of like decentralized currencies and things like that. One has to ask themselves, what is next? So I am curious to see like, what will happen. But the only reason why inflation is an issue is because our wages haven't kept up with it. So
The conversation nobody wants to have.
if the idea is that inflation is going up and wages are stagnant,
Boost the wages.
a very simple mind would be like, hey, just boost the wages. But we
Then
understand
somebody else would be like, you don't know economics.
exactly. That's a fucking good point. So for me, I think it's how what do we want to do about it? Because
sure.
like, for example, money is not real. We all know that. We printed it. Like, we back it by gold. Tell me where the gold reserves are.
This shit is electronic now.
People hate crypto so much, but it's like, that is just as real as your dollar. Whether you like it or not,
banking account,
you know, whether you like it or not, that credit card you have,
same thing.
it's just as real as that Shiba or that Bitcoin, Solana, or whatever, Ethereum, Doge, all that. So for me, it's like, it's all about the mindset. If we decide as a society that we want crypto to be the wave, then it will be. If we don't, we don't. But that's another story for another day. Any sports talk? Shout out to the fucking Warriors.
Hey, Charles, you my man, Slim. You already know I was about to go. Them light-skinned niggas is bite.
They're actually good. He had a ruin there. Shout out to Andrew Wiggins. Shout out to you.
No, he's
buddy.
playing good basketball.
Shout out to you.
It's crazy what a vaccine will do for you. He was not trying to take the vaccine. He wasn't going to do it. He took the vaccine. And he hooping. Let's do it. Let's have a conversation. Because I was going to tweet it. Another man named Andrew.
Son,
he had his name.
Andrew name is nasty.
Nasty niggas.
But shout out to you. You're getting it in.
The Wizards were sneakily the number 1 seed in the East.
For like a week.
And I've got nothing
In
for
November.
them. But
The Bulls are better than y'all.
never in my life have I seen this. I'm not excited. I'm just shocked. Hasn't happened since 74 of us being 10-3.
50 wins in a season.
Oh, John Wall gave us 50.
You never won 50 games with John Wall.
Really?
Never.
So it was 49 then.
48
Yes.
or 49.
I've never seen it.
50 might be loaded.
Got a friend that says the Lakers are done. And
maybe.
LeBron will never win another ring is what Stephen A. said.
He definitely said that.
And I'm on that side as well.
Before we leave, I haven't got to talk on this podcast about this, but Aaron Rodgers, you win the Super Bowl, you know we doing it. You know all the anti-vax. I know you anti-vax. We're gonna talk about Joe Rogan. You need to get better friends.
Y'all can't beat us.
You win that Super Bowl.
Y'all can't beat us.
Beat us.
You can't beat the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Right? You win that Super
You
Bowl.
are a Washington football team fan. Charles, you gonna side with him?
Do the Packers
you win
lose
that
to the Cowboys when it counts?
you
What are
win
we
that
saying
Super Bowl?
right now,
Fuck
bro?
out of here. We ain't have a defense when we played them before.
You my
the fuck
quarterback.
outta
I don't
here.
care what anybody say about you. You can be
Your
anti-vax
number
all you
one
want.
corner is
You win
giving
that
up the
Super
most
Bowl.
receiving yards in
nigga's
NFL history
anti-health.
right now.
You win that Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers is anti-health, and Charles is
Tuesdays, every Tuesday. I love
He's
Aaron
anti-vax.
Anti-health.
He's
I
anti-vax for
told
sure.
Anthony
We don't know about
Aaron
anti-health.
Rodgers will retire with
Anti-vax
one
for
ring,
sure.
just like Brett
Anti-health.
Favre did. And he
Anti-vax.
has
Anti-health.
one ring.
You
He
have
will
bad
never
sports
win
takes, so we
another.
don't know.
We all know that I don't have these bad
Aaron,
takes.
double check. Let's go.
Hey Doc, they not choosing the black man
Cowboys
right now.
finally won a
They
goddamn
not
playoff
changing
game for the
they are
first
not
Can I get
time.
messy?
Black
Can I
man.
get messy?
We're still going in.
mixed.
We're still going
He
in.
mixed.
Okay.
Father black.
Rest in peace, Mo.
He a
In
black
certain,
man.
in certain religions, that would have make him black.
And mine.